Hello, everybody. My name is Jaime Seven Star Seban from the Armbar podcast in the Facebook.
That's a hard name. How do you say that again?
Jaime Seven.
Woo.
Well, they gave me the nickname Seven Star, and here my guest at this time is the one and only Gangrel. If you remember Gangrel, he was a pinnacle role in the Attitude Era with the Brood and the New Brood as well. He pretty much helped out catapult Edging Christian's career. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here in McAllen, Texas. Doing the, I always did it wrong. I get it always backwards. The RGV here. I'm here with my homie Renee. Things are going good. So I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're asking me how I'm doing, but how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Honestly, I was really nervous about this, but I remember, a couple months ago, I heard you talk to Edgy Christian and said to myself, you know what, this guy is a very chill guy, because you talk to certain celebrities, you get this little vibe where
Celebrity.
it's like,
Don't use this.
and you don't know how it's gonna go, and with you, I feel like it's gonna be a very good interview.
And I'm just happy to be able to go and do what I love for a living. Anything that has anything to do with wrestling and events like this and fans and get out. And I haven't been to Texas in a while. This is the first week of a couple of weeks I got coming up throughout Texas coming up this month. So super happy to be here. And I'm always blessed to do what I do for a living. I'm just grateful whenever I can. Today I'm not lacing boots up, but I'm signing autographs, and it's just the same. I met my number one fan today, Yusinia. I would have never met her if they didn't bring me out to see her, and I was super stoked. And she traveled a couple hours from San Antonio, or the other side of San Antonio.
Okay.
So that makes me super happy when I get out there.
That's good. And I mean, just to start off the questions, what got you into the wrestling business?
Got me into the wrestling business. That's a long story. I thought it was real.
Okay.
So literally, I was, I played football. I broke my neck at a young age, 13. Took a turn. I gave a lot of people don't know this, but I did ministries every other month. I gave a sermon every other month at church. I wanted to be a preacher and play professional football. And I broke my neck. My brother died 8 years. So I took a sidetrack. When I have a comic out somewhere, it tells a little bit of that story. Okay. I went south. I went the wrong way. I started running with some gangs and different things like that, and doing bad things. And I was trying to straighten my life out. But by this time, I'm 17 years old. Now, I've lived a whole life. It feels like by 17. But little did I know, at 52, I got a whole other world. But I was looking for a better job, and I saw an ad in the newspaper that said, "Become a pro wrestler. Make money on the weekends." So I went down there. I marched in there thinking it was real, sizing everybody up. Trained for 3 weeks. Was heavily confused about everything. Like, what? And the guy comes to me and he goes, "This is." They wouldn't say that word back then or anything. I'm like, what? I go, oh. I quit. I tried to get my money back, but he just passed away recently this past month. But he trained me for nothing. He said, always promise to get back to wrestling. So that's why I've always been involved in wrestling schools ever since and stuff like that. So I'm always wrestling and that like that because I've been very blessed. And I always say, wrestling knows me nothing. I owe wrestling everything. It took me off the streets. I'd have been in prison or dead by now for professional wrestling. So I'm blessed to be here today. I'm just super grateful.
And speaking of wrestling school, you have your own wrestling school as well. Yeah. The Gangrel's Wrestling Side. Tell me a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's down in Dania Beach, Florida. We're going on our 4th year. We have just over, right now floating, we have like 70 students, so we're in like a 6,000 square foot arena, our building with 3 rings. We run our shows in and out of there. COVID's been really hard on us, live events and stuff like that, but the school, it's thriving and it's getting by. We had a rough month this past month, but I think we're going to get past that corner. We're going to do good. But it's doing good. I've helped train other people like Miro Rusev, different things, Jacob Fatu, and so I've always been involved in wrestling schools. I ran Dean Malenko's school. His father, Boris Malenko, trained me. Okay. I ran Dean's. I also ran off for a while, so my own school for a while like that. Then I opened my own school with Kishi's cousin, Black Pearl, in Knox Pro, California. So Knox Pro. So I did that there, and then I decided to move back home to Florida and open my own school totally by myself, which was GWA Florida Gangrel Association.
Nice. That's very good. And Rusev actually competes tonight with, I forget his name. He's going to be competing in AEW tonight in a tag team match.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. I was just with Brian Cage last week. He was telling me about a Sting match or something.
Oh yes, we actually met Brian Cage actually last year at our inaugural South Texas Wrestle Fest. We met him and Sammy Guevara. And speaking of Sammy Guevara, you know,
he's a Booker T guy, right?
Yes, we saw you on AEW pay-per-view the last time.
Just made shit up. Just made stuff up.
It's on the fly. I believe it was Full Gear, and you actually had a hand in that. How?
Well, they came in. I think Sammy was just as confused as me when I go. Like I'm supposed to say, I went towards Sammy, and he's never turned on me. And Sammy's like, "You even train?" I go, "Look, Sammy, I'm just as lost as you, but like, let me get this money here." With Matt, but he was a tremendous guy. Sammy, Matt brought me in on that to do that. We did his baptisms in the lake and stuff like that. So he was just finishing off his storyline. I think Matt was just throwing an old guy a bone, stuff like that, hoping I would. I think Matt was truly hoping more work would come from the AEW, but they use my students here and there, so I don't quite have a great relationship with them. I don't have a bad one, but they're using my students. They're aware of what's going on, so hopefully it'll roll into a better working relationship in the future.
And I feel like it will, you know, eventually in the future, you know, everything's going to be set very well. And going back to Matt Hardy, you know, back in the Attitude Era, you know, you were the leader of the Brood, you know, every once in a while feud with the Hardy Boys. How was that?
It was great. Matt will beat you to death. Don't let him fool you. Matt has got hands of steel. He's like I don't know. He's like fighting somebody that's seen that block hands. You know, he beats on you. But I loved it. People go, "Oh, what did you like better, the new Brood or the original Brood?" Well, I said, Edge and Christian, but when we were feuding, that's when it was the best. They're so much fun. And you know, if you go back and you look at old tapes and rewind stuff, you'll see me as the Black Phantom, and then it was the Hardy Boys when they were making their own beer, you know, coming up, getting their butts kicked, and me even back to '87 as Dave Heath. So, you know, I have so much respect for them, how they climbed. You know, they were there they from day one. Things. It wasn't like, "Hey, you're going to NXT now, you're going to be a star." Like, you know, you had to work your way up and pay your dues, and like, you know, not that you have to, but you had to then. So it gives you a better appreciation and stuff. So I'm super proud of them. And I think Jeff has a band playing next weekend in my town. I didn't even know he had a band now, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check that out. The 13th down in South Florida, but I still talk to Matt here and there, not so much Jeff, and I talk to Edge, not so much Christian. So I talk to the two, so Edge and Matt, I still speak to. So good guys, great guys. Just glad to have a relationship with them.
Now, how do you feel that Edge, since, you know, given the injury that he had to sustain, you know, came back last year, tore his pec, came back again this past year at the Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble, now has a shot at the Universal Championship.
Go ahead.
You know, how does that make you feel? You know, you
feel well. For one, happy for him, scared for him. Because how do you lay off all that time and then come back when he came back, right? Where he had the stem cells, he got his neck back. He had the same injury that ended Luna's career. That was the same one until she couldn't do anymore. But as medicines and science and things evolve, good for him. He could come back. I was scared for him. He got through that, but then he comes back and tears both triceps or something, right? He gets through that. So I'm super stoked for him because he's one of the truly, like, out of my hand, there's probably 5 guys in the world that would trust my life. Edge is one of them. He's a truly, truly good dude. He deserves everything. Not the torn triceps, all the good stuff.
Now, here's my final question.
Final question.
Let's go ahead and go back. I want to say it was back in like the late 1990s. There was a watch incident. Go ahead and tell us about that.
There was a what?
A watch incident?
A watch incident. Oh, in Hart. Yeah. All right, so the watch incident. All right, so I'm a creature of habit. I always have like the same bag. I wear the same watches. I'll carry I'll have a gym watch and then I'll have a regular dress watch, right? So now I do the in between because I can't afford 2 things. So I just got one. So I get down the middle. I make them up both for them. So, but then you're making good money. So you know, I had a nice watch and I had a gym watch and stuff. So I go in the locker room and then they had all the little fellas, whatever you want to call them, like little dudes. And I was like heavily confused who told them to go dress in that locker room. And I go, wait a minute, I've always dressed here. So All right, whatever. So I go to the ring, I wrestle, and I come back, I go to take a shower, get dressed, and I put my watch on, and the watch is gone. Now, first thing I want to do is accuse all these little dudes that never been in there, and I don't know how that would have looked, because it probably looked like Gulliver's Travels. They would beat me up, strung me down. But I was like, I didn't say anything because I didn't know what to do. You know, you can't just accuse people just because they're not usually in there. And then, two, they were like under like 4 foot. Like, you get heat for that too. So I was like, just let it go. It's just a watch. And then I was leaving, and then I see Owen, and Owen goes, hey, what time is it? You know, I didn't think nothing of it. I said, whatever time. I left at 10 o'clock. Like 6 months go by. Same building, I'm dressed, and I go out, I wrestle, I come back to get dressed again. I get down to the bag, and I go, there's no way I overlooked this watch for 6 months. I'm like, I think I'm losing my mind. I'm looking around. I can't figure it out. But I'm happy to watch this back. It was just been some watch. I'm like, what, you know? So I put my watch on. I got a little pep in my step. I'm walking, and Owen was in that same exact spot. He goes, hey, Dave, what time is it? I'm like, I know so. That just went in my head. I was like, it's off. And then I left, and it turns out Owen, like, he ribbed me for that long a time. Brett told the story later that Owen took my watch and put it up in the roof. Like, what if I would have got fired by then? Or we didn't come back to that building. But he's a patient ribber, so he ribbed me. He took my watch, hit it up there the whole time, put it back in my bag at the same time and stuff. But Owen, I miss him incredibly. He's a tremendous human being, a tremendous wrestler. So, that's one of my Owen stories.
I mean, and honestly, like I said, you were a perpetual leader in previously Attitude Era. You were one of the greats for the Brood, and now that you're going to be doing some tours. You mentioned that you're going to be doing some stuff throughout the state of Texas. I think I might have seen you in a promotional card later on this month. Is that correct?
SWV, right?
Yes.
Fury. Yeah, I'll be there and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then I guess at the time of the pandemic and everything, things are starting to loosen up because my calendar fills up and it would cancel. But now it's filling up and the flights are coming in. So it looks like things are sticking. So it looks like things are turning around. Getting my grizzled self back out there full time. And between the school, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, I'm thinking about moving more classes to a Thursday now. With so many students. Hopefully things turn around. So it's looking good, man. I'm looking for it. But I'm always super happy to be in Texas, man. It's a beautiful state. Love it here.
All right, and that's pretty much it. I want to thank you, Gangrel, for this interview.
Thanks for having me, man.
And I want to thank also.
Thanks for not asking like 30 questions.
And I want to thank Danny and also Renee as well in RGV Sports. Have a great day, guys.